Hello and welcome to New Filmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Movie Maker magazine. My name is Danny DeLillo. We're here at Emerson College, Los Angeles. I'm delighted to be joined with Em with her fantastic feature film, Balloon Animal. Let's take a look at the clip.
Okay, what is it?
I just don't want to do it anymore.
Poppy, you're being super vague.
Like the circus, okay? I don't want to run it.
Em, thanks so much for bringing your feature film. I really loved it so much. I've got so many questions. But for those that haven't seen it, tell us a brief synopsis.
Balloon Animal is about a young girl who grows up in her family's traveling circus, and she kind of has a crisis where she needs to figure out if she wants to stay or if she wants to leave. So I consider it a coming-of-age drama, and people kind of think coming-of-age is a weird genre to give it, because coming-of-age is associated normally with high school.
Yeah.
But I think that limits coming-of-age a
Yeah,
little bit. So
agreed.
I think any time in your life can be a come-of-age.
Absolutely.
So she's mid-20s, but she's
Yeah.
still coming-of-age.
Yeah.
Figuring it out.
I'm glad you said that, because I was about to say it feels like a coming of age that I've never seen before, you know what I mean, which I really loved. And yes, I agree. At any point in your life, you can come of age for sure.
It's true.
Again, it was lovely to see this set in. I think often you think about people that are on these like traveling circuses or fairs, and you think what their life could be like and what it's like. And, you know, just like anybody else, people have got choices to make and maybe, you know, want to come of age and, you know, discover new things about themselves.
Yeah.
Where did the inspiration come for you in making this story?
So my partner, who also plays Poppy Valentine, the lead, she kind of came at me with a visual like in 2018. She was like, what if we did a movie about a girl with blue hair who makes balloon animals? And I was like, okay. And I kind of sat on it for a few months. I had no idea where to take it. And then we started working together, talking more openly. She is a producer on the project as well, so she kind of coached me a little bit with how she felt the story should go, and I took my writing and kind of flourished it a little bit, and we came up with this story where it kind of flips the running away to the circus notion on its head a little bit by running away from the circus, which I thought was an interesting aspect to take.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, some people might think it's a little mundane, that idea of like, oh, I just want to live a normal life. But I was like, but some people live that. You know? It's like, why not showcase it beautifully and cinematically?
Absolutely, and I love that you raised that question of normal. I mean, it's just a different way of living. That's all it is. It's normal to them. And yeah, I love that you articulated that as well. Well, firstly, Poppy did a great job with that role. Definitely had to carry that story and did such a good job. And I love the relationship between her and her father and her friends as well. For you, like directing a film like this, I mean, it's such an undertaking to make a film. It was so beautifully shot as well, which I loved. How was your dynamic as a director? How did you, obviously Poppy was, you know, part of the film as a producer as well. I really thought the father and the friends were so good and the ensemble. How do you bring your cast together?
Well, we had an amazing casting director who, Adrienne Stern, she works both New York and Los Angeles, and she was able to gather a great group of actors together that we were able to search through and finally choose. We went with her with a really kind of strict idea, though. We were like, this is not, you know, only white people. I know how that sounds bad, but I was like, I want to be diverse. I want to be open. I want to like find people who maybe have not had a chance on the screen. Sadie, who plays, Erin, who plays Sadie. This was her first feature. She had only done a short film before this. Michael David Wilson, who played Drew, had barely done any film work. I just felt like giving all of these people a moment to shine, because they weren't given that ever before, was necessary. And Dark, his name is Ilya, he actually has been in a lot of stuff. He was in Gemini Man, Mission Impossible, but the reason why he connected with this film so much is because it gave him the chance to play a father.
Yeah, he's such a great job.
He did phenomenally, and he's just been typecasted as a Russian mobster, gang member, whatever you want to call it, a thug or whatever, I don't know. Like, he's just that's his whole filmography is that. So he's never had the chance to explore other avenues of acting, and so he was very excited to play a father, and that's it.
And he carried that so well, and I think a lot of people that have come from families where their parents are, either immigrants or speak different languages or have, a family business, all those different things. I thought that was really, all those things are brought into context where a lot of people can relate to. As a director, how do you work with your actors to kind of get to that? Is it improvisation? Like, what's your kind of process?
So I come from a theater background, so
that's why it's so good, acting. There you go.
I love improv, and I also think film is a collaboration.
Yeah.
And so every single person that's on that set is an artist in their own right.
Yep.
And so when you're bringing all these people together, you're asking them to bring their artistry into a project to create another piece of art. And so all of them had point of views, perspectives that they had about their characters, how they wanted to take a scene, when they felt they were doing great, when they felt they weren't doing as great. And I listened. And, that's such an important part for a director, because if you're a dictator on set, you're kind of limiting yourself to just one point of view, when you could have a bunch of point of views and really create a top quality piece that appeals to a bunch of people and that a bunch of people are proud of as well.
Yeah.
So I collaborated with all of them really heavily, and I think they all appreciated that, and they really felt like they were doing their best on set.
No, definitely. You can tell you can tell from when you're a filmmaker, you can tell when it feels like they're enjoying the process, which they certainly showed. Now, the set, the location was just gorgeous. Like, it was unbelievable. How you captured it was so great. But I'd love to know about where you filmed it and also how you created that set, because it's not easy to take on a circus film and do all of that. I was like, wow.
It was, we were really fortunate, actually. LA Circus is located in Riverside, and they have done things like Water for Elephants, Greatest Showman, American Horror Story Freak Show. They have a giant lot that has like a Ferris wheel on it and like other little rides that you can't really move. And then they have another lot that's just, I don't know, like a museum of eclectic, vintage items from all over the world that are just up for grabs.
Yeah, it's amazing.
We're an indie film, so we didn't have like a huge budget, but they really liked us, and we were we were still in COVID, so money was tight probably for them as well.
Yeah.
So we kind of struck, the jackpot a little bit and worked with them to use as much of the artifacts that they had and bring them into our set. And our PD did phenomenally, just kind of wrangling it all together and making it look like it was there the whole time.
It just looked beautiful. And like, is there a certain way that you kind of wanted to shoot it? Because I just loved how it was shot as well. Like, it was very, like you say, cinematic.
Well, I mean, slice of life is just how I would characterize it. I wanted the camera to be breathing, to have a life as well, but I also wanted it to showcase mainly Poppy's perspective on things, and how she saw the world and how she felt. And my DP, she actually won an award from Panavision for this film, which is phenomenal as well.
Wow, from Panavision, wow.
She got like a nice, great, amazing package from them.
Oh, nice.
So that's super exciting, but she's just joined the union. She's done a bunch of stuff, like documentaries, and she was so collaborative with me as well, and we just had the same idea with how we needed to shoot this and portray Poppy as a character and her journey, so I feel really grateful.
Yeah, well, it certainly came across. So that's why you got an award-winning cinematographer on your hands. But what was, I mean, listen, taking a feature film, an indie feature film, doing it during COVID times, pandemic times. I mean, well done for getting a fine result. But what was the biggest challenge for you in making it, whether it be production-wise or on set? What was the kind of biggest thing that you had to face?
I will say that because of COVID, we had to postpone twice. That was terrible, but it did give us a lot of prep time. So we were really prepared right when we got on set.
Pre-production was great.
It was great. But we shot the film in 12 days.
12 days.
Yeah, so that was quite difficult.
Yeah.
I feel like because we were so prepared, it did help us a little bit, making sure that we were getting everything that we needed. But there were times when, you're going overtime or you have to cut shots or things like that, and it was hard to do. But I would say that as a time limit was difficult.
For sure.
But we got it done.
Yes, you did, and a fine job you did too. Well, having said that and making this project, what have you kind of learned from this experience, like you personally as a director, good or bad, but also, and then following into that, what did your audience take, or what did you want your audience to take from your film?
I think that I learned that women do better, and women are the best. And
It's true statement, right? True statement.
No. But I do want to say that we did have over 50% cast and crew female in leadership roles, and I felt that it did make a difference. I'm not saying that I dislike men at all. We had a bunch of fine men on our set as well that also got the job done. But I think for me, it was the first time when I was collaborating heavily with women on set, and it just felt different, and it felt really open and welcoming. And even when we were in a time crunch, we didn't feel stressed about it. It was like we were all together, we were all there listening and accommodating each other, and I wholeheartedly want to do that again. And with my company, that is a status quo we're trying to change, and bringing more women into those roles behind the camera, because representation in front of the screen is important, but it is also important behind the screen.
Absolutely.
And so bringing as many women and people of diverse and underrepresented backgrounds into the industry is something that we want to focus on a lot.
Yeah.
And for the audience aspect of the film, I really hope that they watch it and they understand that a movie can literally just be a chapter in somebody's life, and it doesn't have to have life or death stakes attached to it. I think at least now with studios and a lot of the mainstream things being released, we're losing that indie and that independent cinema.
It's true.
And so everything is grand and blowing out my eardrums with the music and the insanity of what's going on screen. And it's like sometimes you can shoot a film where somebody has to decide whether or not they want to venture out on their own, and just, you don't have to answer the question if it's successful or not at the end, because it's just a chapter.
Exactly, a slice of life, as you said.
Exactly. So I hope people can take filmmakers can take that and run with it.
And especially as well, I think there was such a, you obviously, as the movie went, you kind of grew attached to these characters. You started to, have feelings for these characters as an audience member. And, I love that you mentioned about the camera breathing. Like, I think that really kind of showed. And it was nice to just share this slice of life. I think the crazy thing is that I wanted more. I was like, no, I want more, because I want to know what happens next and just what's going on. But, again, it's okay to do that. And I think it's so special to have that. And we are losing that in indie film, so I'm glad that you made that. What is next for you, Em?
So I'm doing a short film early next year that I wrote really short film, really short. It's like 5 minutes long.
Different from the feature.
Yeah, just taking a break. And then I do have my hand in multiple pots. So because we have a company, we're working with another filmmaker who is developing something currently, and then I am also developing multiple features, but I have one feature that I'm focused on currently, which is called Kismet, and it's a little different than Slice of Life. It's about a girl who joins an MLM and succumbs to the madness. So
can't wait for that one
a thriller.
too. Yeah, that's amazing.
And I'm excited for that one, but
yeah,
a little different from this one.
Well, I mean, you know, it is such an undertaking to make a feature film, and so, you know, well done. And I just wanted to know if there's anything as an artist, as a creative person, as having your production company, people that want to follow in your footsteps. Do you have any kind of advice that you kind of share or go by, or anything to, you know, for other people to understand what they should do when they're making their films?
I've already kind of like mentioned this, but I do think listening and collaboration is the best way to make a film, and getting feedback from your peers that you trust. If you want to start a company, working with them and really putting all your efforts forward, because listen, you can go online right now and make a company if you want to, and bam, you have an LLC and you can do whatever you want. So just really listen and collaborate with the people around you, because they're the ones that care about you.
Yeah.
And I think, at least when I was in film school, they harped a lot about, you know, you have to reach to the top, and you have to work with people who are at the top of the food chain. And I'm like, that's not the case. That'll beat you down.
Yeah, for sure.
Work with the people around you. They're the ones that are going to grow with you, and they're going to have your back. And you'll create stuff that's really amazing.
Absolutely. Really sound advice we don't hear very often, but no, thanks so much. Well, I'm so excited. Well done for Balloon Animal. We're so excited to have it at our film festival. Also very excited to see the next of your work, but thank you very much for bringing the film to us, Em.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.